Elya Braden, and I'm 63.
Tell me about your organization.
Hagomel, we're a nonprofit and we provide expressive arts programs for women who've experienced sexual and other trauma to help them heal emotionally and psychologically. And we provide programs in a few different ways. We do online public workshops and Zoom, and we also do some in-person public programs. And then we also work with community partners, which are organizations that provide other essential services to the same women that we serve. And we go in there and provide our expressive arts programs to the women at their organization. When I was in my 20s, I happened to just pick up a Cosmo magazine, which I used to read regularly then, and saw an article about incest. And all of a sudden, it was like watching a movie, this whole flood of visual memories about my brother incesting me between the time that I was 10 and a half and 12 and a half. And he was about 3 years older than I was. And like all the different things that he had done came back to me. Um, and um, So that was that time. And then I was already in counseling at that point because I had been very heavy for many years. I'd lost a lot of weight and I thought that would make me happier, only I was actually getting more depressed. And then this happened, and I realized that a big part of why I'd always been heavy or had a lot of struggles with it since my early teen years was both an attraction to and fear of that being touched by guys. Um, and I thought we sort of sorted everything out then, but I always had this really bad feeling inside me. And it wasn't until my early 40s when I had left practicing law and was going through a lot of turmoil in my marriage that I went to this week-long personal development program. And in the middle of one of the exercises there, which was very physical, with yelling and smashing a pillow with a bat, that all of a sudden I just kind of passed out and came back to myself a few minutes later, having had like a physical flashback. Not, I couldn't see it, but I felt it in my body of my father being on top of me, raping me when I was about 3.5 to 4 years old. And then that just opened up a whole nother well of things just started coming up and coming up when I'd be out running or on the treadmill, or I'd hear a line from a song or see a movie. Like the next 9 months were like constant PTSD flashbacks, and I never knew when it was coming. And then things have come up since then, but that was the main period of time.
How do you know your memories are true?
Well, and many people have said that to me, like, how do you know this is true? With my brother, I actually went to him after I'd been in counseling for a couple of years to tell him what I had remembered. And he didn't deny it, which was super helpful. He said, I thought we were just playing doctor. I'm like, when you were 15 and I was 12, that's not playing doctor. And on the things that he did to me, he never exposed himself to me, but he basically used me to figure out how girls worked, and did a lot of invasive things and constantly was threatening me, either to hurt me or to tell our parents. And it wasn't until I was like 12 and a half that I realized, no, he's actually got more at stake here than I do. And that's when I was able to put an end to it. So that actually really helped a lot that he didn't invalidate it. I mean, he obviously had a different emotional valence with it than I did, but he didn't deny that it had happened. So that when the memories came back about my dad, I went through about 9 months of EMDR. I was seeing another regular therapist for myself. I was also seeing a marriage counselor, and then I've seen other therapists since. And every single one of them has asked me very detailed questions about what had happened, and my story is just absolutely consistent. And other things that had happened later, like sometimes I did a lot of intense body work to try to get things like out of my body, and the same kind of memories would come up. So like all these people who'd worked with me in different ways all verified that at least what I was telling them was consistent. So, of course, when I did talk to my father about it, he said I made it all up, that I always had a good imagination. And I thought, of all the things that I could imagine, why would I imagine this?